A royal source has claimed that it does not matter what Harry and Meghan do at this point. Dimwit and mega liar have already lost the respect of people all around the world. Meghan's upset that she didn't bother to research Harry and his financial situation before she got married to him. Meghan believed that she was so popular and she really thought that Harry had unlimited finances and resources, and that this money would follow them no matter where they lived. And I don't care what they say, they are quickly running out of cash and interest in them has died. Meghan is a horrible person, such a nasty piece of work, and she assumed that by attacking royalty, people would support her and that they would join her in her horrible attacks. Meghan already has quite the reputation for using people and then throwing them away. She and that former prince have lied relentlessly for as long as they've been together, and even longer as individuals. Nobody is interested in a prince who stopped learning and stopped growing when he was only 12 years old. And I'm pretty sure Meghan's just a bad seed. She has always been rotten to the core. Whether or not we can believe all the stories, there is more than enough evidence of Meghan's rude, obnoxious, and despicable behavior, so people are believing the reports. Meghan expected people to bow down to her, to curtsy to her, to feed her whatever she wanted, and to wait on her hand and foot just because she was married to Harry. Well, the royal family has not functioned like that in at least 100 years. Meghan thought that she could just control and run the entire royal family. Her overinflated ego made her believe that she would marry Harry and everybody would just listen to her, and they would give her everything she wanted because she had maybe a few drops of black blood in her body. Meghan expected to be able to enter a large bank like Chase Manhattan, walk right into the office of the CEO, and tell them that now she was the CEO because being a customer service rep didn't work out very well for her. Meghan has grandiose delusions, but she lacks the intelligence, the interpersonal skills, and the patience necessary to achieve her lofty goals. At the time they got married, Harry was sixth in line to the throne, but he failed to explain to Meghan that the more important royals, the senior royals, some of whom were Prince William's and Catherine's kids, would already be above her in the hierarchy, as would all of their kids. Meghan was also not informed, or maybe she just didn't understand, that financial resources are distributed based on your position in the line of succession and how useful you are to the monarchy. I don't think Meghan would have ever married Harry if she had realized that his money was all tied up in trusts and that he only got interest payments to live on. See, those funds are set aside for a very good reason, to protect that money from gold diggers like Meghan Markle, and also to meet their needs while they're still in the UK. Meghan was crazy to believe that they were going to be able to live the same lifestyle in the US as they did in the UK. Meghan's abusive and awful behavior toward both of their families has been publicized, and no billionaire is going to want to get involved in her after she's finished with Harry. Meghan is a toxic individual, and she ruins everything she touches. It doesn't make any difference what kind of attention-seeking antics they're going to pull. Once again, it's just going to make them look bad while not having any real effect on the monarchy. I think South Park put it best when they said Meghan is an empty vessel who wants to be seen as important, popular, and a leader of the people. They really nailed that one. Meghan and Harry are probably the world's most famous con artists and hypocrites and thieves. As the song says, their goose is cooked, their reputation is shot. Harry can never go back to the life that he lived in the UK because every member of the royal family knows he cannot be trusted. Now, they never trusted Meghan, and the royal family didn't like her or respect her, I don't think. I think in an ideal world, they would just want her gone. And if they are real, those kids are going to grow up to resent them for their embarrassing behaviors and because they were born into the royal family, but that is a life they will never really be a part of because of their parents. They'll never be able to get back the 18 or so years that they're going to lose thanks to their parents. They're never going to learn what they should have known if they wanted to be working royals. Instead, they're going to grow up sheltered from the entire world until they can be marketed appropriately. What kind of life is that for a child? Honestly, I just hope those kids are not real. Now, all of the above is true, but even so, Meghan still has a lot more than she ever did or ever would have gotten on her own. She lives in Montecito in an oversized mansion, whatever its condition is. She is definitely ahead of the game when you look at where Meghan came from. She can still technically say that she is married to a prince and she can use those fancy titles that she'd only dreamed of. She's got a man that she will now demand to bring in the money to live her new lifestyle so that she never has to lift a finger. And it doesn't really matter how much Meghan has been ignored, how much she has been made fun of in those wealthy Hollywood circles. Now she's got Harry in front to cover for her. And if none of this really pans out, well, the kids are her insurance money. And it's not like she even has to keep sleeping around for attention at this point. I think this is the closest that Meghan has ever been to feeling really important. Meghan is better off than she was before she met Harry, other than being despised by a large part of the world, of course, but she's not going to see it like that. She's going to be upset that her plans to be more wealthy and more popular than the royal family in Hollywood simply did not work out for some reason that she cannot fathom. It may also occur to her that if she had remained in the UK and if she had just worked for the royal family, she could have had a much easier life. She would never have had to worry about money, and she wouldn't have had to arrange all these PR shoots and photographers all the time. She could have just walked into the coronation service without worrying about being booed in an expensive, ill-fitting designer outfit that's been paid for by the king as well. I'm guessing Meghan has some kind of regret about what she did with the opportunity that she was offered by marrying Harry, just like Harry probably regrets trashing his own family. But it's all too late now because Meghan insisted on burning all the bridges connecting them to the royal family, and so she's got to figure out how to make do with what's left over. Harry certainly lost out in this situation, though. He looks pitiful, and with all of his drug problems, he's eventually going to crash and burn. Neither of them is ever going to enjoy a loving and shared family relationship ever again. The kids, if they are real, are probably going to grow up to be a complete mess based on their marketable factor when all is said and done. And it looks to me like Meghan and Harry do not have a clue about the situation they are in, or maybe they just don't care. Meghan Markle has convinced Harry, though, that he is the luckiest guy in the entire world. I mean, her ego is just beyond what any normal person can think up. Let's remember, this is the person who felt like she could talk back to Her Late Majesty the Queen and get away with it without any consequences. She assumed that by doing that, she was showing how powerful and important she was. Meghan Markle is not capable of feeling shame or embarrassment. She's just a psychopath. She has taken Harry into her insane asylum, and without proper help far away from her, there is no going back for him. And I don't know that he even feels any regrets. It's all just going to continue on and on and on. This is Meghan's oxygen. Meghan was never going to allow anybody to tell her that she needed to work, let alone not get paid for it. Meghan misunderstood how it all worked in the royal family, and she was never going to allow anybody to tell her what to do. It's all been pretty plain to see. And let's not forget that money is God to Meghan Markle, and in this respect, she has failed because they're going to run out of funds eventually, the way things are going. And then she's going to be furious, and she's going to feel so upset about this fact. But of course, she will never take any responsibility for it herself. Meghan thrives on attention, but I think she would prefer to be admired and adored rather than ridiculed and despised, and I'm pretty sure she never feels embarrassed as normal people do. This is just another thing that didn't go according to her expectations. Hollywood A-listers have shunned Meghan Markle, and she's never being invited to significant events, which implies her lack of success to the entire world. Meghan cannot imagine, though, that anyone could be jealous of her now, because she wouldn't be jealous of somebody who made such a mess of things, would she?